Well, it's great to have you here, Steve. On May 13th, 2008, your life changed in an instant, and maybe you could talk a little bit about that day and how it is you came to be in Iraq.
Absolutely. So I was serving with the U.S. Army. It was the 4th Infantry Division on the ground in Baghdad, Iraq, and we were tasked with protecting a general officer on the battlefield. And on the 13th of May, we had an operation or a mission that we were supposed to carry out to a northern area just north of Baghdad. But on our way back to our forward operating base, we ran into basically an ambush. An explosion detonated off to our right. My buddy Victor, who was sitting right next to me, was killed instantly, and I suffered or sustained a number of injuries.
After that event, what are your memories? What are your next memories?
It's, you know, the funny thing is I don't remember much from the event. A lot of my buddies explained to me afterwards what had happened and what was going on. They saved my life, and I got, you know, I was pulled out of the area, flown by helicopter to multiple destinations in Iraq, and then to Germany, to Walter Reed. And I mean, one of the first things I really remember was waking up on the other side of the planet. Life changed, of course, you know. Awoke with bandages on my eyes and tubes coming out of me, and I was just laying in the hospital, and my family there telling me that, no, you're not in Iraq anymore, Steve, you're home. And I mean, it was just, absolutely, it was just, to this day I tell people it still seems like a dream, and I'll wake up someday.
And when did you learn that you wouldn't regain your vision?
So I mean, those first couple of days to weeks, I was there at the hospital, of course, laying in the bed. I wasn't exactly sure the extent of my injuries to my eyes. You know, I knew, you know, that I'd suffered some major injuries, but I wasn't sure how much I could see because I still had bandages on my eyes, and the doctors were, you know, muttering to my family out in the hallway. I remember the first day they approached me about it, and they wanted, you know, my family, of course, wanted the doctors to break it to me as easy as possible. And I mean, they just came in, it was very blunt, you know, pretty much, you know, they just stated, Steve, you're blind, and you're most likely going to be blind for the rest of your life.
My understanding is you were a pretty impatient patient.
I was dead set on getting out of the hospital. The next step was to go to blind rehabilitation. You know, I did everything I could with my occupational therapist and physical therapist, and I was running around Walter Reed with my therapist, you know, on the grounds, just trying to prove to them that, you know, I had a good attitude and I wanted to move on.
You met your wife, Sarah, at blind rehab.
I did. Sarah is something else. She's, I guess, brought light into my life when all I can see is darkness. And she came into my life, was asking, you know, just approached me and said, let's get out of here, let's go have some pizza, you know, and work things out with the hospital and the director. And it was just, and I at first just thought it was, it was just the normal thing. Everybody's being nice to you, it's part of the process, you know, rehabilitating. And, but she changed my life, and we're happily married now, almost 2 years. So.
Last fall, you climbed Le Boucher east in the Himalayas, and that was the result of a connection with Eric Weinmayer, the blind mountain climber who successfully summited Everest. How did you connect with Eric?
You know, I've always done things outside with my family, camping all over the country and traveling to different countries. So I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to enjoy that and do that still. And you know, you hear about this blind individual who's climbing, who's doing all kinds of things outside and all kinds of activities. I was like, this is the best person to speak to and kind of get an idea of what kind of technique, skills, and you know, what he's developed over the years and what makes his life easy in, you know, doing things outdoors. So I wrote a letter or an email and donated some money to an organization he works with, and out of the blue, he just calls me up, and that's how we connected. And then about almost 9 months or 10 months after I was discharged from the hospital, I did my first blind with him.
So you've described yourself as a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. Is there a therapeutic side to that, and your tandem bicycling and some of your other adventures?
I look at the challenges, the physical challenges that anybody, you know, who's breathing, has arms and legs, has the ability to think, that can go and do stuff like that. I look at it like, especially now that I'm blind, if I go and do it and I come back and I have this great story, this great experience to share with people, it makes me feel less blind. I don't feel so limited.
It's a human business. Legacy we want to leave behind us.